Well, we're starting with the news that protesters took to the streets of London and Hartlepool following a mass stabbing that resulted in the murder of 3 little girls on Monday.
Well, angry crowds threw flares and bottles at the gates of Downing Street, with some chanting "Rule Britannia" and "We want our country back."
Well, according to reports, more than 100 people have been arrested following the riots in the capital, and the mother of one of the victims has condemned the violence and urged people to stop.
Well, this all comes as a 17-year-old male has been charged with 3 counts of murder and the attempted murder of 10 others.
Let's talk to our Home and Security editor, Mark White, who's here in the studio with us this morning. Talk us through the scale of the violence that we've seen last night and over previous nights.
Yeah, it was significant, and it wasn't just confined to 2 locations. 4 locations saw violence last night. There was also protests that sparked disorder in Aldershot outside a migrant hotel, and there was also protests in Newton Heath in Manchester that saw a number of arrests and claims that this had been sparked by word of a migrant hotel in that particular location. So it's clear, I think, that there is great concern amongst the government and amongst the police about the potential for this really to spark further protests across the country, that we might be looking at a summer of disorder. The ingredients are all there. There's been disaffection for quite a period of time, and the sort of branding of these protests as just right-wing protests, I think, completely mischaracterises what we're seeing here.
So what are we seeing?
We are seeing the culmination of a period, we're talking now a build-up of years, of resentment that is now fast becoming anger, where they've seen incident after incident that has been reported, that has been linked in many cases back to asylum seekers or immigrants, or people say is linked to a breakdown of multiculturalism. Now, as unpalatable as these issues might be for some people to explore, they are real as far as many communities are concerned. If we just look at the issue around hotels, for instance, there's barely a community in the country that hasn't seen a hotel in their local area taken over for use by asylum seekers, and no one has any say in that being done, that requisition by the Home Office. Now, Labour have said they are going to end the use of asylum seeker hotels. And there will be people out there say, oh, this has nothing to do with asylum seekers. What on earth are you going on about? But it is in the minds of these people that are going to the streets under the slogan of enough is enough. It's all of these issues that have been building up over a period of time, regardless of what the rights and wrongs of the claims around Southport might be. You know, that has sparked a real wave of unrest that's been linked and fed by so much of these other issues.
But there's fake news and misinformation at the heart of this as well, isn't there, Mark?
Of course. Yeah, I mean, I absolutely will say that, you know, with regard to Southport, the claims that were out there, put out by a social media account, claiming that the suspect was an asylum seeker who'd come over on a boat the previous year, had been on an MI6 watch list, even though MI6 don't do terror watch lists, that's MI5, put out a name that was not the right name. That is completely false, and that is, of course, only fed the resentment and the anger. But it would be very naive to think that it's only been driven by this fake account of whatever that's putting out this false information. This is there, it's real, it has been boiling or simmering away for quite a period of time of these issues. And it doesn't take much now, I think, for that real visceral anger to start manifesting itself in this kind of unrest. And with these protests, finally, just on this point, of course, in London and up in Hartlepool, there are elements there who are bent on trouble. I see them at every protest, left or right or whatever the particular issue of the day is. There are always elements in there that would like the protest to become a bit more lively, to become violent, and then people get caught up in that. But that does not reflect the majority of people that attend these protests.
OK, Mark, thanks very much indeed. Let's head to Liverpool Magistrates Court and Charlie Peters, who's there for us. What are the timings of events today, Charlie?
Well, in the next hour, we are expecting the 17-year-old charged last night to appear at this court to receive those charges. And they are 3 for murder and 10 for attempted murder and another for possession of a bladed weapon. Those 3 murders are for BB King, aged 6, Elsie, aged 7, and Alice Agua, aged 9, killed in a mass stabbing attack on Monday morning, which was declared swiftly as a major incident by Merseyside police. Significant police resources have been poured into that investigation, and the Chief Constable told us last night in a press conference at midnight that this is still a live investigation being supported by counter-terrorism officers from the Northwest. That live investigation ongoing as they warned against any speculation, as we expect a 17-year-old boy who cannot be named for legal reasons to face charges here in central Liverpool in the next hour.